Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker,
You're
and
welcome.
thank you to the good delegate from Baltimore County for providing this amendment ahead of time. Body, I'm going to ask the body to resist this amendment. This amendment actually isn't really needed. It's actually what is already done in practice, and so it's unnecessary, to be quite honest, with the body. Federal immigration authorities are going to receive notice prior to the release of anyone who is in custody. It doesn't specify whether they've been convicted for a crime or they're just in a local detention center, but nevertheless, they're going to receive notice anyway. And so for those reasons, this amendment is not necessary. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You're welcome. Recognizing the gentleman from St. Mary's.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You're welcome.
Hey, could the maker of the amendment answer a couple questions for me?
Good evening.
Hey, good evening. So we laid this bill over on Friday, and sitting in my house, scrolling through my phone, I saw this really interesting news story dealing with what I think this amendment is Friday night. Friday night, Channel 7, ABC, WJLA, reported that this guy named Rafael Aguilar, who was, by court records, standing over his victims with a knife saying, "I'm going to kill you," stabbed the man, and then it turned out that he was originally arrested for attempted murder, and then he pled down to a lesser charge. He served 141 days in jail, and then ICE put a detainer on him when he was in jail, just like we were talking Friday that it worked. And then Prince George's County let him go without turning him over to ICE.
Right.
And the news story reads, ICE blasts Prince George's County after illegal immigrant convicted of stabbing is released.
Right.
Would your amendment fix this problem?
Yeah, that's what it attempts to do, and it does so, again, without detaining a person past their time of sentencing. But I think what should be recognized is, in some jurisdictions, such as Prince George's, I'm not even sure, because after you read the stories of some examples of these releases, I don't think there's certainly not a level set of what we do with these cases across the state. I don't think there is a level set of what we do in jurisdictions where there is no 287G agreement. I don't know what we're going to do in any of the jurisdictions if and when we do. You're not only abolishing 287G agreements under this bill, you're abolishing formalized just understandings of how things are going to operate. So that's what I'm attempting to get at here, and I don't know how our jurisdictions are going to operate short some sort of agreement.
Thank you. Would the floor leader, could you answer a question or two for me? Hey, good evening.
Good evening.
Hey, you just told the body to reject this amendment and that was not needed. Looks like we need it.
So I read that exact same article that you read over the weekend, and if you read through the article, you will see that the person, the judge released that person based on time served, and so they were not in our local detention center at that time, nor were they incarcerated in any type of correctional institution at that time. And so the judge ordered that person to be immediately released, and actually Prince George's County did hold that person for a couple of hours to wait for ICE to get there. And when ICE did not show up, after notifying them, Prince George's County released that person.
Yeah,
and that's how it would work once we eliminate these 287G agreements, everyone. That is how the process will work. It will continue to work in that manner in every county here in the state of Maryland, just like it worked in Prince George's County, where there was a detainer, ICE was notified, they failed to pick him up, and therefore he was released.
So in the story, it does say 2 hours. So ICE had 2 hour notice to come pick this guy up and just couldn't get there in time, and they let him go. With the gentleman's amendment, it says 48 hours. So it would have been on the due diligence of the jail that he was serving in 141 days to notify that they could possibly get out before his court trial.
But
It
there was
sounds
also-
like a good amendment.
But there was also an order from the judge that he be released immediately. So are you saying that we should have violated the court order, saying that he was being released immediately? I don't
No.
think so, and neither would any other person do that.
No, the
And so-
gentleman's amendment says 48 hours ahead. So if he was let out on Friday, they should have let ICE know on Wednesday. This is a possibility. And I think that's where we're at as a party. We
I
want
just knew he was in the local detention center. There was a detainer on file for him.
Yes.
But I think we're conflating the point. The point is that the process works, and therefore this amendment is not needed. That is really the point.
Okay, on the amendment, Madam Speaker, it's clearly the process doesn't work because he's out running around Prince George's County. Again, could you ask me, just riddle me this question, how does that make your citizens any safer? That you have a convicted person who's convicted of stabbing with no ties to this community, not turned over ICE. Go ahead.
You know, I just wanted to clarify the record. Actually, he is not running the streets of Prince George's County. If you continue to read the article further states that after he was released, ICE did pick him up.
Yep.
And so he is currently being detained as we speak by ICE. So he's actually not running the streets. I just wanted to clarify that point.
Which is the exact same scenario we've been trying to avoid, not turning Maryland into Minnesota, where ICE is picking people up off the street and not in the jails. We want them to pick up and transfer in the jails because that's the safest place to transfer. This isn't political. This is common sense. I asked the body to exercise some common sense. Overwhelmingly, your citizens want this. We have polled the heck out of this. Last year, we have polled this question to death. Last one came back at 84%, including 90% of African Americans once you introduce the crime that they've committed. If you poll just the regular 287G, it comes back at 54%. So this is a common sense amendment that would keep criminals like Raphael Aguilar off the street and stopping them from harming victims. I ask for a green vote on this amendment. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Recognizing the delegate from Howard County, you're welcome.